Not every bar rescue ends well, and these moments prove just how far things can go.
Oh, for f***'s sake. I mean, that's, I'm just getting rid of the fly.
That's Packy's Pub putting the U in brew.
Look at the bugs in this bottle.
Oh my God.
But you won't believe the dirt-drenched, doom-dealing disaster they exposed at MT Bottle.
This could be dangerous. That's gonna get people sick, and that infuriates me.
And mind you, all this time, the owner was prancing around wearing a watch for yourselves.
So look at Gina's shirt with pierced nipple rings on the actual t-shirt.
She designed that shirt herself.
And of course, the bartenders were indulging in shady, illegal shit.
Oh, there we go!
Wow, there they are. Oh, no. We're a black light and a strobe light away from being a strip club here.
That's illegal in Tennessee.
Tits are a billion-dollar business, like John Taffer said, but flashing in Tennessee? You won't believe what the drunk bartender did at Heat Restaurant and Lounge.
This is absurd.
The sheer buffoonery. The only thing getting served? Subpar service and scandal.
You're pouring shots down people's faces. You got waitresses shaking their The waitresses chase women away.
At Flood, John discovered to his horror that the owner was driving away customers by allowing his staff to do this.
Somebody needs to get her off.
Look at them, they're embarrassed. They're gonna leave.
Watch what the owner chose to do when confronted.
You yourself. Let's leave, you're full.
I can't sit there and listen to lies.
I'm your chance, and you blew it.
She is such a bitch.
Next, you won't believe the grease, grime, and God knows what else they unearthed at the Kashmir bar.
All this is ending up in the drinks. You can see there's some sort of sediment floating in there.
Not just this. Here's what their manager was up to.
This guy says all in one more time. I'm gonna put my fist all in his mouth.
All in.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, I'm all in. All in.
Just went in the ladies' room.
All in.
All in.
All this while the bar was festering in
Those are cockroaches. See, there's one running around there. Loaded with bugs. There's a bunch of dead ones in here.
Then there was the End Zone Sports Bar and Grill, more like a disaster zone.
I mean, I got grease.
On the Ansel system, on the protective system to protect you in case there is a fire.
Because there's grease everywhere.
It was full of gunk, grime, grease, and
Look at the blood. It's dripping down all over your cases of beer.
then in the Casbah, John was absolutely shocked to discover the total lack of safety.
I had a girl sitting at the corner of this bar over here tonight. You're 6 feet away. A guy goes up to her and harasses her. The girl pulls back. You don't notice it.
Up next, we head to a bar that he dubbed as
This might be the worst kitchen I've ever seen.
Fairways Golf and Grill. The chef is caught doing this,
What raw food is he touching now? There's no sanitation. There's no hand washing. There's no gloves being used. There's no separation from raw to cooked product.
Yep, he handles raw meat with bare hands, then goes right into plating cooked food with those same bacteria-infused digits. No gloves, no washing, no shame.
Look at that bowl.
Oh, look at that.
That bowl has not been cleaned since this place opened.
The pea drop.
Here's what John discovered the chef doing behind the bar at La Casona Bar and Grill.
Do you know that he's touching raw chicken with his hands and then grabbing salad and then touching meats with his hands?
So, to sum up, rot, roaches, and revolting discoveries.
There's maggots under there. Maggots.
Welcome to the murky underbelly of bars gone bad. This video may want to make you change your Saturday night plans with your buddies.
This will get every single one of you sick.
It was season 4, episode 25, Broke Down Palace.
Don't touch the food, guys. It's gonna make you sick. I'm gonna stop it.
John Taffer heads to put an end to the mess that was the Palace in Upland, California. Owned by Ghazi and his brother-in-law Sam, this place was supposed to be a royal dream. They bought it in 2013.
20 years of a brothership, me and him, we're gonna lose it over this restaurant. That's what I'm afraid of.
So how do you feel when he walks around a restaurant giving drinks away?
I feel like
They wanted ambiance. What they created was a money pit with mood lighting.
This place is like the aftermath of a bad wedding.
In all these years, not a single dime of profit.
So in an effort to attract customers, Ghazi began giving the house away, despite Sam's disapproval.
Drink in the house.
Just a growing pile of denial, bad decisions, and worse hygiene.
Now look at that disgusting cutting board.
Oh my God.
John brings in cocktail queen Mia Mastroianni and Mediterranean chef Penny DeViti to help. And let's just say what they find in that kitchen. Keep a barf bag nearby.
He has raw product all over his hand, and he's touched the rib of every bowl.
So there's a lot of cross-contamination happening.
You won't believe the kind of disgusting, downright revolting shit they uncover.
Is that a hair? It's a hair. There's a hair on my plate.
Nothing makes me gag faster than that. Like, why is this still a thing? Either put your hair in a bun or wear a hat. But think hair in food is bad? Oh, honey, that's just the appetizer. This video goes from bad to biohazard real fast. Keep watching if you dare.
Ah! The blood on the floor. You don't deserve to be in business.
It was season 3, episode 38, and the episode name was I Smell a Rat. And no, that's not just a catchy title. That's literal. John Taffer went to inspect a hookah bar in Omaha, Nebraska.
I wouldn't put that in your mouth if I were you.
We don't know if it's in the wall or in the air ducts.
Welcome to the Oasis Hookah Bar, where dreams went to die, and apparently so did rats. Jesse Hill, the owner, sank his entire life savings, $50,000, into this place. This filthy, disgusting mess.
That drink was so bad, I had to just go into the bathroom and throw up. And the toilet doesn't flush, so it's just sitting in there.
And the hookahs? Let's just say I've seen cleaner equipment in a back alley pawn shop.
I mean, look how rusty that is. I mean, look at all this. All of this stuff is wet here from grime and grease. And this is just residue from hookah shisha tobacco.
Pipes were crusty, service was worse, and the whole place had that should I get a tetanus shot after this energy.
This place is so disgusting. I need my freaking gloves. Look at this.
Holy hell. Filth everywhere. We're talking thick layers of grime, fungal growth, and brace yourself.
How long did it take me to find it?
Dead rats. Actual dead rats. If you're wondering why the episode is called I Smell a Rat, now you know, and it wasn't just a metaphor for bad management.
That's your freaking future right there, man.
That's it.
And you're manager of this place?
John was so horrified, he straight up told Jesse to do this.
Shut this place down. Guys, please get out of here. Give them their money back now.
Because no one deserves to pay for a side of salmonella with their shisha. Watch this next one with the lights on, and maybe don't snack while you do.
What the hell is that?
There's icicles.
Is that insulation? What is that?
It was season 4, episode 3, Schmuck Dynasty, and wow, the title barely scratches the surface of this Staten Island circus.
You know what I want? I want you to close this bar, and I want this room empty in 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's the atrocity named Rhythm and Brews.
I dumped my 401k into the bar. Between the three of us, we've dumped in $700,000 into this place, and it's just about over.
To pull this disaster out of the grease fire, John brings in cocktail expert Kate Gerwin and chef Josh Capon. Josh's wife Lori does recon. She asks for wine. There's none.
I have no wine.
No wine. No wine.
No
drinkless. These guys aren't catering to their market. They're beneath it.
She settles for a margarita, and watch what John discovers next.
So the glass that's been sitting on the bar, her hand went on it, she shook it with it, and now she's using it as a strainer.
The bartender doesn't know how to make a margarita, and it looked like sadness in a salt-rimmed glass. No balance, no flavor, just straight up citrus assault.
You actually can see people's facial muscles tighten from the sourness. Look, there it is.
But here's where it really gets unhinged. Anyone can walk into the kitchen and start cooking. Yep, randoms. You, me, Uncle Bob, just waltz in and flip a burger.
I had ravioli. Where's the ravioli?
This guy is a doormat. He's being walked all over.
Perfect observation. Forget hygiene, forget health codes. They've basically turned the kitchen into a communal cookout.
He's grabbing his own chicken fingers or mozzarella sticks, whatever it is, and throwing it in the fryer.
Hold on. Let me finish my order first, please.
It's one thing to let your bar vibe go laid back. It's another to run it like a post-apocalyptic diner where the rules died years ago.
Do it. Eric, you look at that yellow ice and you don't do a thing.
Yikes. You will not believe how far gone this place is. Watch this one, then go hug your local health inspector.
How many customers' hands have been in this? And then they don't close it, so it's all freezer burned and ruined.
It was season 3, episode 36.
Okay, there's the wings out of the freezer. Bam. Fries are frozen. Everything's frozen.
John Taffer heads to Bryant's Ice House in Katy, Texas, and what starts off as a typical rescue quickly spirals into something out of a bad frat party meets failed food truck festival.
You say you,
to these girls in my presence again, I'll knock your ass out.
The owner, Jeff Simon, seems chill on the surface. Too chill, actually, which becomes a problem. John Taffer sends in two locals, Aaron and Jessica, to spy. They order a Cosmo and a margarita. Both drinks, garbage, but what really sets the tone? The bar's creepy, male-dominated vibe.
These are blue-collar guys out here.
Yeah, they're hanging with each other. It's almost like a man cave of bars.
Yeah.
Yup, shady lighting, shady men, and the kind of energy that makes you want to clutch your pepper spray. They order food next, and here comes red flag number 73. It's made in a food truck. Fine. But watch what shocks John next.
What happens when a guy has 10 hamburgers on a grill and he has to go looking for a waitress? Everything burns?
Yeah.
You can't run a business like this.
So the cook literally abandons the kitchen and strolls into the bar to serve it. Health code? Never heard of her. Not to forget this.
Why is my chicken so chewy?
Of course, it's frozen.
And then Randy enters the scene, staff member. Supposedly, he's plastered, hits on the girls, won't shut up. You won't believe the trash that comes out of this guy's mouth. It gets so uncomfortable that this happens.
That's the most dangerous employee of all. And look, he just ran them out of the bar.
Yes, Aaron and Jessica leave mid-recon, and who could blame them? Then it gets uglier, in a jaw-dropping twist.
I did not. Don't tell me. You just told me you did.
Does this guy understand his staff is gonna cause him to lose it all?
Staff starts brawling in front of customers. Actual fists, real punches, no control, no shame. And Jeff, he's sitting there like a background prop. Zero reaction, zero leadership. And Randy? Well, watch.
Ducky. Protect his.
John Taffer finally loses it, confronts Jeff, and demands an apology from Randy.
You can't even talk right now. Sit the hell down. That's the epitome of irresponsibility.
Randy, sit down, please.
And this clown? You'll be disgusted by the audacity.
You kiss my ass, John. Tag your feet.
Then he does this.
When you work with losers, you get a loser bar.
Yep, walks out. No, sorry. No accountability, just pure ego and beer breath. The next monstrosity was this.
Look at it. There's one of them. Look at that, guys. That's a roach.
That's disgusting. I'm out of here. I don't want to touch anything else or see anything else. I'm repulsed.
Nasty doesn't even begin to describe this.
There's about 30 cockroaches in there. Look at that.
Seeing that many cockroaches was disgusting.
Bar Rescue Season 3, Episode 2, fittingly titled Rock and Roaches. And honestly, the title undersells it.
We have our share of roaches. This has got to be one of the dirtiest bars in Austin. I've witnessed a lot of really gross things here.
The bar was named Headhunters. Turns out the signature smell that John walked into was that of...
Second I walk in, there's just this disgusting, heavy, wafting smell of either mold and must or cat piss.
It was a litter box, not a bar. And guess what else was scurrying behind the bar?
Here's what he wrote. That the conditions noted are a health hazard and a public danger. There was substantial fecal matter, egg casings, and mutilated roach carcasses.
You could hear the staff's collective gag reflex kick in.
With a roach-infested bar, even the glasses that seem clean are heavily contaminated.
This infestation, according to the professionals, came from at least 4.5 years of complete neglect.
And just when you think maybe, just maybe, things cannot get any worse, we find out.
We don't get paid anything. We get paid tips, and that's it. So we have to come into work 2 hours early so we can clean the bar and stock it for free.
The owner hasn't even been paying his bartenders. They're working tip only. It's a full Amy's Baking Company situation. Moving on, let's head straight to Fort One Bar and Lounge, deep in San Francisco's tourist-heavy Marina District.
Oh my God! No, 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 no. This is in all of your eyes. We can't make drinks with this.
Enter Jason Wanagatunga, a guy who inherited a bar and somehow managed to turn a prime SF location into a free-for-all frat house in under 2 years. His dad, a seasoned club owner, handed over the keys thinking Jason had the business chops. What he got instead was a dude playing dress-up as a nightclub impresario while his staff turned the bar into their personal after-party.
However, Jason was quickly sucked into the party scene and away from managing the business.
I drink, like, 4, 5, 6, 7 beers. Hey, can you make the drinks faster, please?
Imagine giving someone the family legacy and they respond by draining your retirement fund and handing out Grey Goose like it's complimentary mouthwash.
Jason's generosity towards his customers leaves his staff empty-handed and his bar in shambles.
I guess that's all I need to head straight out of the bar. But you know Taffer, he loves challenges like these.
You guys can take a seat.
That's bottle service back there.
I've been into nightclubs in prominent cities, and you expect sophistication, certain levels of upholstery.
Look at it, it's a piece of garbage, Mia.
No.
Jason isn't using half of what he's got. It's like someone bought a mansion and decided to live in the garage. Sure enough, our boy Jason walks right over like he's on an episode of The Bachelor, and without hesitation, hands over a bottle like it's party favors at a kid's birthday. No tab, no receipt, just vibes.
It's on me tonight, guys.
That's complete rookie stuff that he's doing.
Then there's Desiree, the bartender, or should we say bar liability. John finds that...
You open or closed?
No, I'm closed.
You're closed.
Yeah.
Oh, so I can't get a drink or anything from
I
you.
mean, would you like a drink? What would you like?
Yep, she's always intoxicated on the job. She's slurring, stumbling, and more concerned with the next shot than the next customer. Even his own manager, Scott, looks like he's watching a toddler steer a semi-truck. Scott knows this is a slow-motion car crash, and to his credit, he actually tries to call it out. But Jason, still stuck in his VIP fantasy, too buzzed on ego and bad decisions to notice his bar is a financial sinkhole.
Is this about you being a big shot at her expense? Because as you're having fun, she made $8 and she made nothing.
It's harsh reality.
Harsh reality. You don't give a. You haven't grown up yet.
At this point, the bar doesn't need a rescue, it needs a court-appointed guardian. John finally corners Jason, and in classic Taffer fashion, doesn't sugarcoat it.
And your actions hurt people.
I never really thought of it that way.
So you're a complete moron. Is that what you're telling me?
Easy with language, please.
Really?
I wouldn't say I'm a moron. I'm just trying to get customers in here.
They're already here.
Meanwhile, his staff, Scott, Olivia, even the wasted Desiree, are left babysitting a grown man in clubwear. The biggest twist? His staff actually care more about the bar than he does. Scott and Olivia speak up with real frustration, not because they want to jump ship, but because they know what this place could be.
Look at this. Look at this piece of.
John Taffer does what a therapist, a CFO, and probably Jason's dad couldn't do. He makes the guy clean up his own mess. Literally. After handing out $1,600 worth of liquor like it's candy at a Halloween frat party, Jason is made to scrub the very bar he's been partying in.
Everybody here now knows how irresponsible you are. So, clean that up, then go home tonight and look in the mirror and stare in your own eyes and realize the moron that you are.
It's the business equivalent of getting grounded and being told to mop the floor with a toothbrush. And Jason? He looks shook. Not in a lesson learned way, more like, how did I end up on the wrong side of a revenge montage way.
I normally deal with struggling owners who are in trouble, not rich kids who don't care.
Well said. Ashley, one of the bartenders, admits she actually loves her job. Shocker, but also adds that working under Jason is like working at Disneyland if Mickey Mouse was blackout drunk and in charge of payroll.
$350 worth of product, $1,600 in revenue. You just gave away last night. And you fed your ego? You looked at their blonde hair, then you frickin' melt.
Scott, the long-suffering manager, finally hits the do something or I'm out point. He straight up tells Jason and John he's ready to bounce if things don't turn around.
Do you stay?
I'm out.
Did you invest money in this place?
I did. $23,500.
And honestly, who could blame him? You can only mop up so many metaphorical and literal messes before you snap. Taffer steps in with the big guns. He demotes Jason to barback for 48 hours. It's a beautiful ego smackdown. The bottle-wielding boy prince is now fetching ice and cleaning drains under Scott's command, who, by the way, is temporarily named king of the bar. John makes it very clear. No Scott, no rescue.
You work for him.
Okay.
You don't question anything.
Understood.
He tells you to sweep the floor, what do you do?
Sweep the floor.
That's the deal. What you think, what you feel means nothing to me.
And let's be real, Scott is the bar's last hope. Then enters Mia Mastroianni, the queen of cocktails and tough love. She puts Jason straight to work, filling ice buckets, cleaning behind the bar, scrubbing grime like he's prepping for a health inspection run by Satan himself. And just when you think we've hit peak grossness, nope.
Oh my god, no, 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 no. 2 dead mice.
Cue the mold, dead mice, and fruit flies in the storage area.
It's covered in molds. This is absolutely disgusting.
It's caked on.
The place isn't just unsanitary, it's basically an open invitation for every rodent in the Bay Area to throw a rave.
This is your ice.
That is on all of your ice.
That's from the actual unit that the ice falls through.
John finds mold, wipes it up with a towel, and rubs it on Jason's arm like some cursed baptism. If Jason didn't get it before, he definitely smelled it now.
Dead mice can be rabid or have other bacteria attached to them. And mold is no small matter. This isn't a visual issue. This is a health issue, and it's serious business.
Jason has to clean up the rodent graveyard himself. A fitting punishment for a guy who's been letting the bar rot while he plays VIP host. Dead mice, sticky floors, buckets of bacteria, and now a dethroned party boy in barback exile.
It's Jason's responsibility for any kind of rodent problem. Should never get to that point. Ever. It's disgusting.
But you haven't seen anything till you check out Dugout. This bar took things too far. Way too far.
I'm not talking about, I'm
But
not
you had a
talking
2-hour
about
head
right now. I'm talking about when I was running your bar.
Ed Cressy was the landlord, but then he kicked out the actual owners and thought, yeah, I got this. Spoiler, he didn't.
You literally want people to come in and run your bar so you don't have to do anything.
Absolutely.
That's not real. That's not a thing.
Ed drinks like he's trying to forget the bar exists, which honestly might help. The Dugout was bleeding money faster than he's pouring booze down his throat.
This last off season, we were probably $30,000 in debt on a corporate credit card and lost $5,000 a month.
He's overwhelmed, clueless, and somehow still proud of a house cocktail called Brace Yourself.
It's disgusting.
No further questions. Taffer had to send in a local sports writer to go undercover because the rumors about this place sounded fake. But guess what? They were real.
So now he breads the hot dog bun with his hand where the raw product was. No gloves, of course.
Oh, hands right into the pickle juice.
The burger wasn't available, the salad was a crime scene, and the kitchen.
There are flies all over the place.
Ed's back there on a fryer slicker than his excuses, serving up a mess with a side of delusion.
Every time you clang that on top of that fryer, that grease builds up on the back, and then eventually this place is gonna catch on fire.
Want to see what rock bottom looks like with beer taps?
What bull this is? Let's get out of here, guys. Good job on a Chicago pride, Ed.
Now, let's step into the black light district where dreams go to rot in the dark.
There's always problems with the plumbing.
It looks like the place hasn't been cleaned in 50 years.
It's pretty nasty.
All right, so Dave Franich is the owner. Correction, the dude holds it hostage.
We get a lot of people that are crybabies. If you're gonna walk into a place where they're playing punk rock and you want to complain that the music's too loud, then we don't want you guys in here.
The bar looks like a squat, smells worse. The furniture, sticky. The sign?
Look at this sign right here. I think it's supposed to say cocktails, but it just says ales.
It's quite fitting, because everything here fails. Customers complain, staff checks out, and Dave cranks the volume and throws tantrums when anyone suggests turning it down.
You and your hipster friends shouldn't be here to begin with. It's a punk rock dive bar, you crybaby. What?
As for his investor, Gabe, he just stands there watching his money get stage dived into a toilet.
Oh, really, Joe? Is there any punk bar that can fill up 365 days a year?
Not playing punk rock.
When Taffer shows up, Dave immediately gets defensive, like a full toddler meltdown.
If you think you can run a punk bar and make money 350 days a year, I suggest that you don't know punk music at all.
Doesn't want help, doesn't want support, doesn't want customers, apparently.
I think it's a crock.
Well, you guys don't need to hear me argue with an idiot, so I'll let you go, Joe.
This man actively blocks his own rescue, all in the name of punk.
So you'd rather play punk and be broke? Phil, he doesn't need us. Let's go. Good for you, buddy.
But the truth is, there's nothing punk about laziness, filth, and failure.
But you open this up and you get this nasty stench from under here. Oh my God.
Oh!
Freaking disgusting.
Dave isn't fighting the system. He's just too stubborn and pathetic to admit he's the problem.
Back up your staff for once at least and take some accountability for something.
I know, you better throw that bar too.
Now he's smiling. He thinks this is funny.
The arrogance, I tell you. But what if I tell you there is this owner who thinks hygiene is optional?
The employees take advantage of her. She doesn't really track how much people are pouring. The materials that we utilize have not been taken care of.
Owned by Natalie Pointer, Skip and Jan's Sports Grill and Billiards in Gilbert, Arizona, was screaming for help. But the owner, totally oblivious to the chaos.
This might be one of the worst kitchens we've seen together.
Real.
Taffer walks in, takes one look at the kitchen, and nearly dry heaves.
Disgusting. And this carbon buildup on this grill, I mean, that's a fire hazard right there.
Disgusting. If health violations had a leaderboard, this one's sitting comfortably at number 1.
This is you? Are you crazy?
And just when you think it can't get worse, it does.
Freaking cockroach walking across the kitchen.
Roaches, just strolling around like they pay rent. Meanwhile, Natalie, completely unfazed.
Well, the actual drain broke off, so now we have to have it drip in something, so that's what we have there for the water that drips.
Not just gross, it's worse.
It's not supposed to be exposed, you know that?
Yes.
So this is incredibly illegal. And look at this.
Now, let's talk about Royal Oaks. Out here, things begin with drama and end in destruction.
Go yourself. Look in there. See the face of your son? Then drink it, ass. The ultimate jerk as he loses his house.
Tonight, him, I'm drinking. I don't give a everybody.
Taffer knows when a bar is past saving, and at Royal Oaks, things not only hit hard, but also early. The place had been left in the hands of the Kennedy brothers, Louis and John, and trust me, these two guys were mentally checked out.
I just got off the boat from London. I had a... Johnny! Give me a minute. Oh, will you just shut the up?
Johnny, especially, was a walking disaster. His focus hadn't been on the staff, the bar, or even the business. It had all been locked onto one thing.
Look in there. See the face of your son? Then drink it, ass.
Tonight, him, I'm drinking. I don't give a everybody.
And for someone who was supposed to be leading the place, it was honestly embarrassing.
Is today Friday?
Today is Monday.
I lost it.
And just when it seemed like things couldn't get any worse, Louis showed up. What he did next didn't just cross a line. It sent the whole thing off a cliff.
I'm not gonna let this happen here. I'm going inside.
Okay, I'm going to work. Duty doesn't fly.
Meanwhile, Taffer stood in the center of it all, surrounded by chaos. And somehow, he still tried to help.
He's out of his mind. My brother's a
But you can't help those who don't even want it. You'd expect maybe a shift in energy, a pause, a shred of realization, but no, nothing changed.
Your brother to get his act together and I'll come back tomorrow.
As he tried to open up a real conversation, guess what Johnny did?
Because he's so drunk, I can't even talk to him.
He acted like none of this mess was on him. And to make things worse, he tossed out one final insult.
Here, come and do a shot for you,
Laughable, right?
That was crude, disrespectful, and so far out of line that it stopped Taffer in his tracks. Taffer turned back, not furious, but stunned.
The ultimate jerk as he loses his house.
At first, he tried to laugh it off, like maybe it was just nonsense. But then, it sank in. This wasn't funny.
They've respected it, and you disgraced it.
It was worse than he imagined.
You made yourself look like the biggest frickin' idiot in the world.
That one surely pushed Taffer way past his breaking point. However, back at Fryer Trucks, things hit the roof when Taffer went head-to-head with the owners. Fryer Tucks.
There's no enforcement. You don't communicate a
I want somebody to come to the plate and swing the damn bat for
But
once.
all you do is project.
What happens next is exactly why this walkout hits differently.
I'm not trying to beat you up. I'm trying to wake you up.
This place wasn't just a mess. It was a complete disaster.
Hate in this place. We need to fix it. I'm the only that's trying to keep everybody employed.
Ivan.
What a you are. That'd be a like that.
The owner, Ivan, had been hiding out in the back of the kitchen. And to be fair, the guy could cook.
This guy actually knows how to cook.
But that's where the praise ended. Because once he stepped out of that kitchen, things were different.
You guys get this right, or next time you're wearing it. No. Talk to him. Get the off. Go talk to him.
Sammy, the one trying to help run the bar, had barely been holding it together. Not because he had lost hope, but because he was stuck under someone with no direction.
I'm at the breaking point.
What's going on here? So you're going down?
We're going down.
What happens if this place closes?
Everyone loses their job.
The disrespect that Ivan has to this staff is unbelievable. His attitude affects everyone.
He looked drained and exhausted, but guess what? He had hope, and that hope came in the form of Taffer, who walked in with one goal: to expose Ivan's failure as an owner.
How many times did you tell your employees to go themselves tonight?
Probably 150.
Who was the Sam?
Ivan.
Ivan was the
Yeah, but you're acting like it right now.
Ivan was the
Yeah, but you're acting like a right now.
I've been.
Taffer wasn't asking for some miracle. All he wanted was a change in attitude. However, it's easier said than done.
Until he changes my mind, you hear me?
Yeah.
Ivan acted like he was the alpha in the room.
When I get pushed and pushed and pushed, then I'll fight back.
Your food last night.
I have to be in this environment because this is the place that I have to make my money.
As for taking accountability, guess what Ivan did?
But you're sinking.
Yeah,
from your
because
own
they're
action.
pulling me down.
They're pulling you down.
Yes.
And then he dropped the bomb.
What would you have done if I wasn't here?
I was gonna close the doors. I would be gone.
Seriously? If he didn't want Taffer's help, he shouldn't have asked for it in the first place. At this point, it's not poor leadership anymore. It was something much worse.
You are owed over 250 weeks of payroll. Mister, I'm not going to let it happen. No, if I close tomorrow, I'll take care of everybody. How do you possibly succeed here, Sam?
You can't.
So why are you here?
I put so much in here, I just can't let it go.
And the worst part, he knew exactly who he was. But did that push him into changing himself? Of course not.
You come off like an idiot.
I am an idiot.
He knows it.
Taffer was done playing games, and there was only one move left.
There's no rules, there's no regulations, there's no enforcement. You don't communicate a all you do is project.
Because when someone disrespected John Taffer, he didn't argue. He just walked out.
Yeah, but you're acting like a right now.
Leaving. Good luck, guys.
Bye.
You can't save a place when the person dragging it down refuses to be helped. And guess who that reminds me of? This next owner who cracked vile jokes and turned the workplace into something toxic, the Hooch.
I will not rescue your bar if you disrespect them. I will not do it. Stop her! I will not do it.
This owner really pushed John Taffer to the edge, and honestly, she had no idea just how badly it would blow up in her face.
Why are you smiling? She needs to learn to respect them, and tonight, before we go to work, it's starting right now. If you disrespect them, I will not do it.
Welcome to the Hooch, and from the moment you hear the name, you already know you're in for chaos. Honestly, Taffer wasn't being dramatic when he called it a disaster.
You know what? Naming this bar the Hooch is kind. It should be named the Gutter.
When he confronted the owner with all the issues, she didn't even blink.
What can I say? I'm an ass.
And you're fine with it.
I am. That's just what I do. What?
And when Taffer called her out to her face, there was nothing. No apology, no reaction, no excuse, nothing.
And whores, are they sluts?
No, actually they're not.
Like, how do you not feel anything after treating people like that? And if that wasn't enough, she straight up made some weird claims.
That's not a callus, that's an ass.
I mean, come on, where's the logic here? Now, Taffer tried to reason with her, hoping she'd snap out of it. But you won't believe how she reacted.
What does she call you? What phrases?
Guzzling gutter slide.
And just when you think she couldn't possibly take things any further, she does exactly that.
As soon as they bend over and move their shorts to the side, the whole room smells like dirty skate.
Oh.
Said, it's not a normal day when you find Taffer teaching basic human manners to the owner, right?
You respect her when she speaks to you that way?
Absolutely not.
Now, this is when Taffer had to step in. If someone didn't say it out loud, this bar had no chance of surviving.
You're possibly the most unlikable person I have ever seen. Because your language is unbelievable.
The biggest issue at this bar wasn't the drinks, nor the decor, and not even the service. It was her mouth. And nope, Taffer wasn't gonna sit back and watch her rip apart her own team anymore.
And you're proud of it.
I am, but I don't know if that'll change.
I will not rescue your bar if you disrespect them.
He gave her an opportunity to turn things around, but with every word that came out of her mouth, she proved she didn't deserve it.
I will not do it!
But Taffer, he had seen more than enough.
Anything about her sexual preference or habits. And why are you smiling? Why are you smiling? What the hell's the matter with you?
You are delusional. You have a serious issue. And if you feel like a piece of right now, boy, do I want you to.
If this is how she reacts when someone tries to help her improve, the future of this bar isn't looking good. But here's the thing, Taffer doesn't sugarcoat reality. He tells it like it is, and he doesn't hold back.
You treat them with dignity and respect every freaking minute I'm here, or boy, I will make you regret it.
And when someone refuses to listen, he knows when it's time to walk away. Because you can't fix a bar when the biggest problem is the person running it. And with a name like Second Base, it's almost poetic. Because believe it or not, Taffer's been here before. This isn't their first shot. It's their second and their last. Second Base Bar.
Cut open this floor. Oh. You don't know because you don't care. That's why you're a failure. Come on.
I am coming.
Freaking loser.
Okay. Bye.
Taffer didn't storm out once, he walked out twice. That's how bad things got.
When I rescued this bar last time, sales went up 400%. I got them there. The problem is, they didn't try.
I mean, think about it. How do you get John Taffer, his full crew, a complete bar rescue setup, and still manage to blow it?
That's what's under this floor. Run off from that drain and run off from this. That's why your frickin' bar stinks.
The place was owned by Gary and Terry, a duo running a bar that honestly should have been shut down the first time around. Somehow, they got a second chance they absolutely didn't earn. But this time, Taffer came in with one goal: push through, get it done, and see if they had anything worth saving. Now, here's the wild part. What if I told you Gary genuinely believed he was killing it? Not a trace of doubt in his voice, this guy thought everything was running smooth.
So you don't have any pride in the business, do you give a
Yeah, I give a I put a lot of time in this bar.
Then comes the reality check, right out of the mouth of someone who works under him daily.
He's got the bookkeeping, he's got the inventory, he's got the shift changes.
Is that why nobody knows how to make any drinks?
Turns out, Gary had energy for everything, except the disaster that was unfolding in his own bar. So, what do you think happened next? Just like that, boom, total destruction like none of it mattered. And with that, Gary and Terry showed their true colors.
They didn't clean, they didn't take care of it. They're failing because of them. And Terry wants me to come save him again.
They didn't want help, didn't ask for guidance. They made it painfully clear they weren't here to improve. They weren't putting in any work. They just stood around like they were waiting for someone else to care.
It's exactly how I left it.
By now, the pattern was crystal clear. It's always the same story. Owners who talk about changing, but never follow through.
You know I'm gonna come here today and you scream about this, right?
They couldn't even be bothered to clean their own bar. No attempt at all, even after Taffer told them exactly what needed fixing, and they brushed it off like it meant nothing. That's not just lazy, that's straight up disrespect. Eventually, Taffer couldn't keep it in. He exploded.
You suck dry, then call me to come back a second time and bail you out. And now you're delusional.
And honestly, delusional is the perfect word for what he was dealing with. Now take a look at what really pushed him to the edge.
You like it? There you go, man. Right where it belongs. On you.
That nightmare of a setup, that disaster zone, it was Gary's doing, or at least that's what Taffer believed at first. But then, Taffer drops the bomb. He tells them to cut open the floor. And the moment that blade hits the tiles, their faces say it all. Not a clue why this mattered until the truth starts creeping out. What's hiding beneath that floor?
Run off from that drain and run off from this. That's why your frickin' bar stinks.
Would you walk into a bar that looked like this? Exactly. Me neither. Let's rewind for a second. Here's what Taffer first saw.
That is the most disgusting I have ever frickin' seen. Look at that.
Dust everywhere. Total neglect. It looked like a bar that hadn't been touched in months. But as the pieces started to fall into place, Taffer saw the truth. It wasn't Gary holding the place back, it was Terry.
I find it personally offensive that you could take something that is so successful that I gave you and so disrespect it.
Terry was so checked out, he didn't even know what was happening in his own bar.
I think that you are so disconnected with the realities of making employees happy. I don't think that you're capable of it.
He couldn't manage the bar. Worse, he couldn't even manage himself.
This bar's failure is directly a result of Terry's neglect.
Taffer still tried. He stayed in it, giving them every opportunity. But Terry shut every single door.
I am an ass, but you're a bigger.
And then he opened his mouth. Just listen to what comes out.
And the only success you had, I gave to you, and now I take it away.
Is this your version of success? Bye.
No vision, no clue. Every time Taffer brought up the future, the answer was the same. I don't know. That's when Taffer snapped. That was it. He reached his breaking point.
You don't know anything. That's the problem. Either you don't know or you don't care. I suggest you don't know because you don't care. Come on.
I am coming.
Frickin' loser.
Okay. Bye.
And just like before, he walked out again. Done. Let's head to Mac and Chester's, where things just didn't heat up, but exploded. Mac and Chester's SRO.
Because you look at me. You're a f***ing idiot. I'm gonna get the hell out of here. Now I'm out of here.
When you're losing $6,000 a month and still interested in everything but managing your bar, that's Mac and Chester's. Owned by Scott Mack and Todd Chester, this place is a disaster waiting to happen. And the staff? They're just as careless. Be it food, drinks, or basic service, it's all falling apart. A hair in the wrap.
Oh my God, there is hair in the food. You ever have this one?
I've never had a wrap hair.
And then there's Dale 1891, a bar that turned into a complete nightmare.
Gave Scott the opportunity to invest $80,000 for a stake in the business.
Yes, you heard that right, $80,000 of his own money. Unfortunately, Scott's inexperience, combined with a string of financial missteps, created a recipe for disaster. At the time John Taffer and the bar rescue team arrived, Dale 1891 was losing $5,000 a month, a situation spiraling out of control. But what John uncovered next was even more shocking.
We were crowded at first, but it was short-lived.
From the moment John Taffer's spies entered Dale 1891, it was evident that customers were being taken advantage of. One of the first red flags was how the bartenders made drinks. When the spies ordered a mojito, the bartender blatantly overpoured the alcohol. While some patrons might enjoy a heavier pour, this practice is a double-edged sword. On the surface, it might seem generous, but it's a direct hit to the bar's profitability.
Serious overpourage right there.
But was overpouring just a mistake, or was there something more sinister at play? The food situation was even more alarming. Dale 1891 had its own kitchen, but for some inexplicable reason, food orders were sent across the street to the owner's cinema. Patrons expecting a quick bite with their drinks were left waiting while staff ran back and forth between buildings to retrieve their meals.
By the time they get the food from the kitchen here to the bar there, it's not going to maintain quality.
Unbelievable.
This disjointed system not only frustrated customers, but also called into question where their money was going. Why was a bar with its own kitchen outsourcing food service? Was it to cut costs or to mask deeper issues with the kitchen staff and management? Either way, it left paying customers shortchanged and suspicious.
Hey, back here, where you listen, get Are you kidding me? Are they seriously fighting in the bar with customers?
But this wasn't just bad management. John soon realized it was something far worse. As John Taffer delved deeper into the financial side of Dale 1891, even more troubling issues came to light. Scott, who was in charge of the bar's finances, had no idea how to manage costs or properly track expenses. Worse, he was caught mixing his personal expenses with the business account, a clear sign of fraud.
There's no rent paid. That's $5,000 a month screwing us. Over $100,000.
And yet, this was only the tip of the iceberg. While Howard and Gonen owned the majority of the business, they were unaware of Scott's financial mismanagement. Bank statements revealed shocking details about personal spending, which was draining the bar's already limited resources.
Rental car, cafe, golf clubs.
Customers, who were unknowingly paying inflated prices to cover these expenses, became indirect victims of this financial chaos. Every dollar spent at Dale 1891 was potentially funding Scott's personal lifestyle rather than improving the bar. What else had Scott been hiding from his father and business partners?
John, no, that's embezzlement. You can look at when you run personal expenses to a company and don't tell your partners. No, that's fraud, Scott.
Beyond the financial issues, the bar's operations were riddled with dysfunction. During the stress test, chaos ensued almost immediately. Bartenders broke glass into the ice bin, a health and safety hazard that could have endangered customers. Without proper systems in place, staff didn't know which tables to serve, leading to further delays and dissatisfaction among patrons.
They broke a glass in the ice bin as soon as we opened. Scott didn't even know it. Now he's back there digging out the ice bin. He's trying, but he's not watching.
But the worst revelation? Scott didn't even know what was on the menu.
Extra shrimp?
Love, I can't find this one.
No, this one either. There's no names on it.
Even the bar's theme was a mismatch. Named after a local hero, Dale 1891 had a tiki-themed interior that made no sense in the context of its branding. To make matters worse, a motorcycle was inexplicably placed in the middle of the room, adding to the confusion. Customers entering the bar were met with mixed signals, unsure of whether they were in a tropical paradise or a roadside dive. John had seen bars in bad shape before, but this one seemed beyond repair until he made a surprising discovery about Scott's motivations. John Taffer's arrival marked a turning point as he quickly identified the root causes of the bar's failures. He brought in expert BBQ chef Kevin Bludso and mixologist Daniel Ponsky to revamp the menu and train the staff. During the stress test, Scott's willingness to step up and improve earned him some praise. But it was clear that the bar's survival required a complete overhaul, not just in operations, but in management. However, John knew that training alone wouldn't save this bar. Howard and Gonen had to face a harsh truth. Scott's incompetence wasn't just harming the bar, it was sabotaging their entire business empire.
The sugar.
You're talking about one of the most popular drinks in all of Florida, and you don't know how to do it? Yes, I can.
After much resistance, Scott finally handed over financial control, allowing John to move forward with the bar's transformation. But would it be enough to undo years of damage? The bar was renamed from Dale 1891 to Cayman Cove, with a new tropical theme that matched its identity. The interior was revamped with bright colors and cohesive decor, creating a welcoming atmosphere. The staff received thorough training, ensuring that service quality improved. For a brief period, things seemed to turn around. Sales reportedly increased by 20% after the relaunch, and customers initially responded positively to the changes. But not every rescue has a happy ending.
Your ego is your worst enemy.
Despite the promising start, Cayman Cove couldn't escape its troubled past. While the bar stuck with its new name and theme, it eventually closed in June 2019, a little over 3 years after appearing on Bar Rescue. By the time of its closure, the bar had a 2.5-star rating on Yelp, with reviews citing poor service and management issues. The negative feedback suggested that the bar's internal problems had resurfaced, once again affecting customers who expected better. But here's the real question. Could the owners have avoided this fate if they had taken John's advice to heart? In the end, Cayman Cove serves as a cautionary tale about the importance of accountability and customer trust. From overpouring drinks to misusing business funds, the bar's practices left patrons feeling scammed and undervalued. While John Taffer's intervention provided a temporary lifeline, the deeper issues within the ownership and management ultimately led to its downfall. And for the customers who unknowingly funded Scott's mismanagement, the scars of betrayal might linger longer than the bar itself. Anyway, moving on to an even bigger train wreck. When John Taffer and his crew arrived at Blue Frog 22 in Chicago, Illinois, they weren't just tackling a struggling bar, they were diving headfirst into a business riddled with mismanagement, questionable practices, and a reputation that left customers wary.
The bar's childish decor pushed locals and tourists to the trendier spots down the block.
In this episode of Bar Rescue, John Taffer tackles Blue Frog 22, a bar that should have been thriving thanks to its prime downtown location and spacious seating, but instead is plagued by mismanagement and deceit. Owned by Mimi and her son John, the bar initially saw success, but quickly became known for its unprofessional environment. From the moment John's wife Nicola visited undercover, the issues were clear. The decor was a mess, and the food was often served frozen in the middle.
Totally inedible, completely disgusting.
But it wasn't just the decor or the food. Behind the scenes, tensions were high between Mimi and John. Their constant clashes created a toxic atmosphere that trickled down to the staff, who were confused about who was in charge. To make matters worse, Mimi regularly drank at the bar during business hours, shrugging off any concerns about professionalism.
She's been drinking the entire time.
Alright, now let's see what people have to say.
Walking into that space was much worse than I expected, but it was like somebody blew up a toy chest all over a bar, and that is just not good. That just doesn't work for me.
The toys and childish decorations were replaced with a more sophisticated vibe. Chef Capon revamped the menu, and beer expert Jason Baldacci introduced a better beverage program. John also convinced Mimi to step back, allowing John to take over as general manager.
That when I walk into a ladies'
talking
room,
to you, not me.
can I talk to everybody for a moment? I'll come back to you. It's supposed to be professional.
John calls the staff together with one message. The toys have to go. The team begins stripping the walls, and the childish vibe starts disappearing piece by piece. To fix the bigger issues, John brings in Chef Capon for the food, and Jason Baldacci for the beer. Both waste no time getting to work, but not everyone is thrilled with the changes. John takes things further by promoting Mimi's son to general manager and asking Mimi to step back. Meanwhile, the kitchen gets a fresh start with locally sourced ingredients, and the bar gets upgraded tap handles.
Mimi is very defensive about this place. She doesn't like being told.
The kitchen manager, Jay, faces serious pressure to step up, leading John to pull him aside for a much-needed talk.
To be honest with you, I'm not even tasting that.
All right.
That just looks a little scary to me. You know, the one item that I actually didn't even taste.
Finally, the big reveal. Blue Frog 22 is gone, replaced by the local. The childishness is out, and a sleek, fresh identity takes over. But will the customers embrace it, or will the cracks start to show?
Bar staff has learned how to maximize their new local beers.
The bar was rebranded as The Local after the renovations, and things initially seemed to improve. Sales soared by 50%, and customers enjoyed the new look and menu. But cracks began to show when the bar kept its original name, blending Blue Frog with The Local 22. This hinted at a reluctance to fully embrace the chain. But here's what happens when the great American dream goes down the drain. In 2009, Bill Davis, a successful businessman with a vision of owning a family-run establishment, invested his entire lifetime savings into Kerry's Sports Bar in Nevada, a wildly popular yet costly venue priced at $4 million. Bill's dream was to create a thriving family business, so he brought in his daughter Kim and his children Justin and Lacey to help run the bar. However, in 2011, tragedy struck. Bill suffered a stroke that significantly impacted his health. Unable to oversee the business, Kerry's Sports Bar quickly began to spiral into chaos. Lacey Lacey opened up about her mother Kim's management style during an emotional conversation.
My mom has really good things about being a manager, but other parts are over pours. I mean, they'll flat out steal. The second that they think we're not watching them.
Meanwhile, Justin's behavior went downhill. He used the bar as a place to hook up with both customers and staff, spiraling further into reckless habits. Lacey's frustration with her brother reached a boiling point. Kim, on the other hand, took a more passive approach. Rather than overseeing operations, she allowed staff and her children to run wild, leading to an increasingly unruly team and mounting financial losses. Carrie's sports bar was hemorrhaging money, with Bill losing an alarming $5,000 a month. A once popular establishment was now on the brink of collapse, and the family was desperate. In a last-ditch effort to save their dream, they reached out to John Taffer for help. John Taffer arrived and began using secret cameras to monitor the chaos inside the bar. What he discovered shocked him to his core. Justin and his ex-girlfriend Jenna were taking a staggering 3 minutes to prepare basic cocktails like Bloody Marys and margaritas, something that should have been done in under a minute. Bill watched in horror as his daughter Kim stood by, failing to address the catastrophe unfolding before her. Taffer observed that Kim's overprotectiveness of her children, including her grandchildren, was a major contributing factor to the downfall. But this wasn't the worst of it.
It pisses me off because it's bull. I'm so tired for that.
Lacey broke down in tears, expressing her frustration with Justin's actions. The family's lack of control over their business was painfully evident, but things took a shocking turn during the next revelation.
Goes up to the cash register, rings up no sale, puts money in a drawer, counts out change, takes change out, gives it to the customers.
And what happened next was even worse than anyone could have imagined.
Money right in their pocket and walk away.
Taffer uncovered that both Justin and Lacey were stealing money from the business. The family had no idea that Lacey was part of the theft, and this revelation was nothing short of a betrayal. The theft was not limited to them. Even staff members like Melody, Justin's ex-girlfriend, were involved. When confronted, Justin's weak excuse for keeping Melody on staff was immediately shot down by Taffer.
Why is she here?
She's had a lot of hardship, and we've tried to really coddle her.
Taffer then turned his attention to Kim, confronting her about her failure to lead. Kim's breakdown was heartbreaking.
One more chance?
This wasn't just about poor management anymore. It was about something far darker.
We all need to be fired, honestly.
I'm disgusted. I want to vomit, and I want to vomit on you guys.
Taffer discovered the staggering amount of money Melody had stolen, and Lacey's reaction was one of pure rage. Taffer made it crystal clear that this kind of behavior wouldn't be tolerated in his establishment. In a decisive moment, Taffer forced Kim to fire Melody despite her tearful pleas. The message was clear. Theft would not be allowed under any circumstances. But it didn't end there. Jenna also had to leave the bar, a painful but necessary decision. With the toxic elements gone, Taffer focused on transforming the remaining staff. He quickly realized they lacked the skills to provide decent service, so he began training them from scratch. However, Taffer knew that the bar's reputation was beyond repair without a fresh start. That's when he suggested a complete rebranding, a new name for the bar, the Beacon Bar Bloodies.
This is badass, dude.
This new name symbolized hope, a fresh beginning, and a beacon of light for the troubled business. A revamped menu, new service standards, and a more professional atmosphere followed. As Taffer's changes began to take root, customers returned, and the business began to show signs of life once again. Bill's original vision for a successful family-run bar was finally on track, but there was one final question lingering. Could the family truly put their past mistakes behind them? In the end, Taffer's intervention saved Carrie's sports bar from total collapse, but it wasn't without its scars. The Davis family learned valuable lessons about accountability and leadership, and the Beacon Bar Bloodies became a symbol of redemption. However, the question remains. Could the family maintain this newfound success, or was it only a matter of time before the cracks began to show again? But there's nothing that can compare to what happened when John Taffer tackled the monumental challenge of transforming the End Zone Sports Bar and Grill in Houston, Texas. Owned by Justin Whitfield, a former stripper and bodybuilder, the bar quickly spiraled into chaos after a promising start.
It's a lot of fun, but you can't rely on your looks forever. And opportunity knocked at my door. I was able to get into this bar relatively cheap.
When the End Zone first opened in 2005, it became a hotspot, raking in $100,000 in monthly revenue. But as demand grew, Justin brought in his close friend Sean, a fellow former stripper and MMA fighter, to help manage the bar. Their partnership turned disastrous.
When he needed money, I sold my truck because we were so close.
The two had conflicting visions for the bar, leading to constant tension. Justin's leniency toward bartenders drinking on the job only worsened their relationship, and the atmosphere became toxic. The bar, once thriving, sank into $200,000 of debt.
Do some work. I feel Sean thinks this is more about a popularity contest than it is about running the bar.
With the business crumbling, Justin called John Taffer and the bar rescue team to save the failing bar.
that, okay?
John was struck by the bar's prime location in the heart of Houston, but was horrified by its appearance. The exterior blended in with the mall, making it nearly impossible to notice. John knew the situation inside was even worse.
It doesn't pull your eye.
It could just be a store, a shop, retail. I have no idea that that's a bar.
First of all, there's no design, there's no theme, there's nothing. Got a draft beer system that's hidden.
Yeah, that's what I define torture as. But, well, we've all seen worse, haven't we?
Sour. Cursing in front of customers.
Nobody can sit here.
Kiana, a bartender, was drinking on the job and using foul language in front of customers, creating a hostile environment. The bar was filthy, sticky floors, unclean equipment, and an unprofessional atmosphere. Things took a bizarre turn when Justin and male strippers began performing in the middle of the bar. This alienated customers who came for a sports bar experience, leaving them baffled and disgusted.
Main stage at a sports bar?
Strip club now. Look at this.
The drama escalated when a fight broke out between bartender Taylor and Sean's wife Stephanie, leading to an altercation between the two owners.
Get out of my face. You don't even know me, bitch. I don't care. I swear to God.
The bar's internal issues were affecting every aspect of the business. John skipped his usual intervention on the first night, choosing to confront the staff the next day. The tension was thick, with each person offering a different version of events. The ownership was unclear. Sean claimed to own 15%, but no legal documentation supported this. John focused on fixing relationships. He arranged legal papers for Sean's interests, then turned his attention to the bar's many issues. Health code violations were rampant. A filthy kitchen, contaminated chicken wings, and overflowing grease traps were all hazards. The bar was operating under false pretenses, endangering customers.
Look at this oil. That looks like 90-weight oil from an engine. If I put a flash bulb on the other side of this, you wouldn't see it. Do you understand the fire hazard that this is?
John and his experts, Chef Vic Vegas and mixologist Kate Gerwin, worked to fix the kitchen and bar. A stress test showed the staff's inability to handle pressure, slow bartenders, burned food, and 18-minute wait times. John called it off, but offered hope to Sean and Kevin.
She's begging for a drink over there. Look at her smile. Let her know you're coming. Thank you.
2 hands.
Who still doesn't have drinks?
Stressed out.
The next day, Sean and Kevin put aside their differences, apologizing for the bar's sake. With ownership sorted, John pushed them into focused training, teaching them signature cocktails and sports bar dishes. John's team then launched a 36-hour renovation, sparing no expense. The bar was rebranded as Houston Sports Hub, featuring sleek decor and top-notch equipment.
Brand.
The relaunch was a success, making $2,200 in just 1 hour, and sales increased by 30% in 2 months, with 100 new customers weekly. However, the success was short-lived. By 2020, the End Zone was sold, and Sean had left the business. Reviews for Houston Sports Hub turned negative, with complaints about poor service and a foul sewage smell.
Oh my gosh!
You've got to be kidding me.
The bar was eventually replaced by Players Sports Lounge, which received better reviews. Despite John's efforts. The End Zone's failure serves as a cautionary tale of how bad management, internal strife, and deceit can destroy a once thriving business. But here comes another insane episode when John Taffer visited the Brixton, a struggling punk rock bar on Austin's 6th Street.
Get out. I don't go to your bar and act like a There's a nice middle finger right there.
Owned by Tim and Sarah Lupa, the bar faces mounting debt, a strained marriage, and a dwindling customer base. Tim's poor attitude toward college students and younger patrons undermines their focus on customer service. Desperate to save their business and home, the couple turns to John Taffer for help.
I used to drink here as a customer, had many good times at this bar.
John, accompanied by his expert mixologist Peter O'Connor, wasted no time pinpointing key issues. First, they noticed the bar's unwelcoming and unattractive exterior. The facade of the bar was completely unappealing, failing to attract the attention of potential customers.
We haven't really changed anything about it. Just because I thought I could come in and be sweet to people.
Despite Tim's background in marketing at a Fortune 500 company, he had little to no customer interaction skills. His personality was lacking charm, and it was evident that his attitude was the biggest thing driving customers away. He failed to understand that a customer-facing business requires more than just service, it requires connection. John decided to send in his friend Clay and 2 others to go undercover. Upon entering the bar, they found it nearly empty. The patio area was uninviting, and the decor lacked personality. After ordering cocktails, Clay received an abysmal Moscow Mule and gin martini. When they attempted to return the drinks, Tim's response was nothing short of rude and dismissive.
He grabbed some 10-day-old lime juice and threw it in there. It was the nastiest, sourest drink I've ever had in my life.
The couple's approach was clearly not working, and the situation was dire.
Inside voices, please.
As tensions continued to rise, Sarah took over, and surprisingly, the drinks improved under her care. But instead of showing appreciation, Tim lashed out at her for stepping in. This only highlighted the growing rift between them.
You know why? Because I didn't touch the bottle, probably.
John confronted Tim about his lack of cocktail knowledge and his abrasive attitude. Sitting down with both Tim and Sarah, John pointed out the gravity of their situation. They were on the brink of losing everything, with Sarah revealing that their marriage was crumbling under the pressure. John emphasized that their decision to purchase the failing bar without any substantial changes was a huge mistake. Now, they were at risk of losing not just their business, but their personal lives as well.
It's your attitude. Do you understand that?
The following day, John gathered the staff to gain a better understanding of the bar's operation. To his surprise, none of the staff knew the meaning behind the name The Brixton, and Tim couldn't even explain the type of bar they were trying to run. The staff revealed that Tim frequently kicked out paying customers and constantly argued with Sarah, creating a tense and hostile atmosphere. Sarah, clearly overwhelmed, broke down and admitted that they were $100,000 in debt and could only keep the bar open for another 3 months.
Just a bar.
That's about as ineffectual as you could be.
Peter O'Connor then assessed the bartender's skill. Tira and Alyssa stood out, demonstrating proficiency in making classic cocktails like Old Fashions and Long Island iced teas. However, Tim continued to be a liability. His lack of effort and poor attitude irritated Peter, who was visibly frustrated. Tim's behavior was a constant obstacle, preventing the bar from reaching its potential.
Tim, that's annoying.
The real breaking point came during the stress test. Sarah was put in charge of managing the bar, and the tension between her and Tim boiled over. Tim's inability to keep it together led to him driving away customers once again. The stress test ended up being a total failure. Despite Sarah stepping in to manage the bar with Tira and Alyssa, the chaos continued. The night highlighted that Tim and Sarah working together was a hindrance, not a help. Their dysfunctional relationship was proving to be their biggest obstacle.
Who's getting mules? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Mules.
After the disastrous test, John and Peter planned to rebrand the Brixton by focusing on signature infusion drinks to stand out. With no kitchen and limited event space, Peter trained staff to craft unique vodka and beer cocktails, aiming to create 3 specialty drinks for the new menu. However, Tim's resistance to change remained a major hurdle, forcing John to push him to embrace the rebranding.
You told me, Saf, if the Brixton fails, your marriage probably fails.
In a dramatic moment, Tim even painted a middle finger on the wall during the signage change. His tantrum seemed endless, but Sarah managed to convince him that the changes were essential for their future success. The pressure was mounting, and Tim was finally swayed by the realization that this could be their last chance.
You told me, Saf, if the Brixton fails, your marriage probably fails.
To build buzz for the relaunch, John sent Tim to a local radio station and enlisted sculptor Tommy Gregory to create an eye-catching rocket sculpture for the exterior. Highlighting Austin's growth, John emphasized the business potential. The bar was renamed Rocket Room 6, featuring modern decor, a frost rail, an upgraded patio, and a tablet system linked to a food truck to handle the food issue. It was one of Bar Rescue's most dramatic transformations. During the relaunch, customers loved the sleek look and new drinks. While there were some delays with service, the overall atmosphere improved. Even Tim stepped up, engaging with customers and creating a much more welcoming vibe.
Roman Wheel Construction did all of this inside and out in 36 hours. Austin Company.
Despite the rebranding to Rocket Room 6, Tim and Sarah couldn't fully let go of the Brixton. 6 weeks after John Taffer's rescue, sales rose by 17%, and the couple was expecting their first child. But in March 2020, they sold their share to co-founder Van Akens, and the Brixton closed. The bar received positive Yelp reviews in its final months. John's intervention saved their business and strengthened their relationship, enabling them to open a second location. But the question remains, was their success temporary, or did Taffer's changes secure their future? Only time would tell. Scamming customers is a whole new low, don't you think? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for crazy videos just like this. Speaking of, this next video is a must-watch. Trust me, it's worth your time.